Hello there, and welcome to What's Your Why podcast, where creatives and dreamers from all walks of life talk about imposter syndrome, fear, and what sets our souls on fire. I'm Jay Pemberth. My guest this week spent over a decade being just a screenwriter. No paid work, no qualifier, just a writing sample that got her a lot of attention, and then also getting rejection after rejection, just like all of us, right? Then she became a working screenwriter with 3 movies on Lifetime, awards, representation, commissions, and one more TV thriller on the way, actually. I really enjoyed this conversation this week, and I'm excited to share it with you. Today, I'm talking with screenwriter Lauren Greenwood about her 10-year journey, the sample script that never got made but opened every door, and what it actually takes to love the craft enough to make it through. Let's check it out. Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hello, I'm very well, thank you. I mean,
Yes.
physically well again until the next bout of
Right?
illness.
Because we've been trying to connect on this for a couple weeks.
Yes, for I've been trying to be a healthy human being for a couple weeks now, and it's just not in the cards.
You're based in Toronto, is it?
Yes, yes. My
Okay.
hometown, my
Hometown,
beloved,
born and raised?
born and raised, left for a few years in between, but always come back. She always draws you back in.
Yeah. I've been to Toronto twice. Once when I was young, like, I had just oh god, this was like, what, 1992 maybe? Or
Wow.
maybe '89, something like that. It was after Superman 2 came out, and I was obsessed with
Mm.
Superman 2. I like Superman, like, running around in the pajamas and the underwear and the cape and everything,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, my grandparents were taking me to Toronto,
Cool.
um for, like, because they traveled my grandfather traveled for business, and but to the point where my mom pulled my grandmother aside and is like, "When you go to Niagara Falls, do not let go of his hand. And Jason,
They
Superman's not real. You cannot jump and he won't save you."
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, oh my god. Wait, how old are you then?
I was probably 7 or 8,
You
probably
were
when I went.
20.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
were 20. "Don't do it!"
Yeah, exactly. But I remember I thought it was cool because we went to a Toronto Blue Jays game, and I thought that was
Oh,
great because the
yes.
dome actually closed in the middle of it.
Mm.
Now I'm a diehard Dodgers fan now, so this year
I
was very
mean,
interesting. So
the Blue Jays did really well this year. We all thought it was gonna happen for us again after, like, what, it's been, what, 30 no,
it's been a
20
long time.
it's 1992, I think was the last time we won, or
Yeah,
91 or
I
92 or
think
something.
yeah.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy in Toronto. Everybody's wearing their Blue Jays gear. And I'm just like, "You posers, like, you don't people don't even like baseball. You just hopping on the bandwagon." I don't like baseball either, so I didn't give a shit. But,
Okay. Yeah.
um
I remember I looked at tickets, like, I was like, because 'cause I'm in Pittsburgh, so I'm 5 hours drive,
yeah.
you know? And I was like, "Oh, tickets are $600." But it was for game 1, I'm glad we didn't go because we got destroyed. So I'd have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
very unhappy.
Yeah, it was weird times. The Toronto teams always do this to everybody. Every year, they're like the Maple Leafs and the Blue Jays, it's like, we're always pulling for them, and they just never deliver, and it's just constant disappointment. Again
Got
this
it.
year. So,
This year, yeah.
now we're
Well,
just
there's that
back to our default
Dodger
of being like, "Our teams
yeah,
suck."
there's also that Dodger weird magic or curse or for other teams, like, because it happened with the Yankees last year where, like, game 7, like, the Yankees just what happened,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then that last game was a nerve wrack. I was wrecked. I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Like, so
Oh, the sports.
right? So,
Yeah.
okay, so
Love
for
it.
you, screenwriting, so you, if I did my research correctly, you went to is it Toronto University and York University for your MFA in screenwriting, and, you do stand-up comedy, you wrote a play,
Mhm.
you are part of, is it Second City as well?
Yeah,
Like
those these are the
like
stand-up and the improv is, like, pre-children times.
pre-children times,
Yes.
okay,
You know, when
okay.
you have time to go out in the evening to a comedy show and stand there at the back waiting for your turn all night, you know?
Right?
Not so much the current state of things, but yeah. But yes, you're right.
Okay, so is there a way to see this stand-up show online somewhere?
I don't think so. I
Oh,
wouldn't
okay,
imagine
smart.
so.
It's
No,
smart.
I mean, I have some of
'Cause
them
y
recorded on my phone, but they're kind of, like,
'cause
in the vault forever now.
okay, 'cause
It
YouTube's in blood, you know?
yeah, that's right. I
Yeah.
don't think there's any YouTube evidence of this. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I kept it very, very contained. For me, it was more about I mean, it was, I talk about my like 7-pronged stratagem for becoming a screenwriter, and stand up and improv were like 2 of those prongs. Simply because in Canada, and I'm sure it's similar in the States, but in Canada, a lot of I mean, we have like 5 rooms. So, but they're mostly comedy shows, and pretty much like the direct line of going from not to being into a writer's room in Canada is like either you're in stand up or in improv, and then you kind of work your way into it that way. So
Wow,
that was
seriously,
I was
okay.
very conscious of that, and that's why I decided to do that. Plus, I mean, I just like it. I just like performing and being like a jackass on stage. It's just like generally my
I have
vibe.
yeah. I have not I do like making a fool of myself, but I've not done the improv thing yet. I
Yeah.
am because 'cause I'm in college full time now with my 2 youngest
Wow.
adult kids. And so I'm
Oh my god,
taking
that's so
intro
funny.
to acting next semester, which
That's
is gonna be
awesome.
interesting. And my kid's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yeah, I am." Like, "Why not? Let's do it," you know?
Yeah, I think you absolutely should. I think it's a very humbling experience, especially when you've been on the other like, on the writing side of things for so long, to be in
Right?
that hot seat when all the eyeballs are on you, you're like, "Whoa, this is really hard."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I think I'm
so
supposed to audition for some of the plays too, and I'm like, "Okay, this should be interesting."
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
Please tell me that you're gonna write, like, a screenplay or a book about something about being in college with your kids.
I want to, absolutely.
Like, I want this story.
This journey has been very it's like, so it's really okay, so story time. So, I haven't even got to my first question yet. I love this. My, so it's really interesting because being 43 and back in college and my kids are 20, 20 and my daughter's turning 21 next month. But we're all literally we're all sophomores together. We're all the same we'll graduate in the same
Oh
class,
my
which
god,
is
that's so
cool. Like,
funny.
I think it's awesome.
That's
And so, well,
amazing!
I
What
sit
a
at home
hook!
and write. I know, right? I sit at home and write all day. So I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. I didn't go when
That's
I was
awesome.
18. I didn't do that. So or I did. I went for 3 weeks classes for 3 weeks, one semester and withdrew and moved to California. So,
Wow.
it's like, "I don't need school for this. Like, let's go." But it's really funny because I'll walk around campus and people walk past, like, with my kids and my people walk past, like, "Jay, how are you?" Like, saying hi, or, like, girls will wave and do one of these, and my kids are like, "How the hell do people know you? Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, I'm having fun with it." Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I actually don't walk around like this and type. I look people in the eye and smile, and people, I guess, respond to that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
That's hilarious. I need this, like, screenplay, this film in my life. I need to see a man at college with his 2 kids and all the antics. Like, it's giving me, like, Arrested Development, like, season 4 was it season 4 when they're both at the same college together? Like,
Yes, yes, when
yeah,
it was
George
the first
Michael
season on
and
Netflix. Yeah.
yeah. Yes, yes, the first Netflix season. When they're in, like, the dorm room together, and then they're doing the vote to see who gets voted on. He writes DA, scratches it out, writes Michael, and then oh
Yeah.
my god, like, that yeah,
I love that show so
hopefully you're
much.
not as clingy as that.
No, not at all. No. Yes, and I'll call the film Frat Daddy, and it'll be great.
Oh my god, I'm already excited. I can't wait to see it.
I will have to do that. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I do. It's definitely something like yeah, I will deliver that for you. Yes.
I'm sure you will.
Should I write it as a straight as a TV movie or as like as a movie movie?
I
Because that's
mean,
part of my questions too. Because that's your
okay,
background,
we're getting there, we're
you
getting
know,
there.
But so you went to school for MFA. You got an MFA in screenwriting. Went to college for screenwriting as well. Before then, I assume.
That was
Yes,
I studied English literature and German
right.
literature and language before that.
And you translate scripts too, right? In German?
I
And did
do.
I? Oh, jeez, that's
Yeah.
so. What don't you do? Yeah.
I mean, I have similar feelings about you. So, I feel like that's just
Okay,
the
fair.
feeling that everyone has about each other, you
Yes,
know?
right? Yeah, I agree. So with all of that, like, where did it all begin? Like, when did you know that you wanted to just tell stories and that's all you wanted to do?
Like, I know it's such a cliche answer, but, like, literally as a child.
Okay.
That's kind of, one of my it was I was constantly writing as a kid, like, I journaled all the time, which I don't do anymore, which I probably should, but, I was constantly writing stories and writing poems, like, I was mad into poetry when I was a kid, very childlike poetry, of course, and then when I got older, when I started high school, I went, there was, like, um a theater troupe that was outside of the school. So I joined that and I was in a play, at the age of like, I think I was 15 at the time. And then I was like, ooh, I got like the theater bug from that. It was called the Fire Hall Theater that was in Coburg, Ontario, tiny little town. And I don't even think they do it anymore. But anyway, so I got the theater bug at that point. I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna be a playwright. Like that's what I want to be." Because I was on stage and I didn't really I liked acting and I thought for a while that I wanted to be an actor, but it was the writing that interested me the most. So I started writing plays when I was like 15, 16. And then I kind of carried that into going to university, at the age of, well, I was only 17 when I went to university. So basically, like, immediately after I got into theater, I went to university. And then,
Okay.
and then from there, I kinda just, realized at some point there's absolutely no money in theater. If you wanna have a job someday or, like, a halfway, bill payable career, then you need to do something else. And I was like, "Oh,
Right.
Hollywood, screenwriting, that's where all the money is. Ha ha. Very funny."
Right.
So
Yeah.
funny. But anyway, that set me out on the trajectory of, like, I'm gonna be a screenwriter, and, like, just plowing through that for 10 years with this, like, unwavering, kind of, like, naive and almost, like, stupid belief that it was all gonna work out. Luckily, it seems to be doing that, 15 years later, but yeah, it was kind of just like always it was always in my mind that from childhood that I was gonna be a writer. I just knew it. I didn't really think I was gonna be anything else. I literally have no other skills. So it
Okay.
was like writer or like on the street. That's kind of those were my only
Okay.
options. Yeah.
I feel that. I feel that. Like, I moved to LA at 19. Yeah, 19. Yes. I had just do the math in my head. 19 and, like, to write, had nothing to say, like, nothing good to say,
Wow, that's the thing, right?
and decided that school kinda wasn't it, which is ironic that I'm going back now and I love it, but
Yeah.
not for screenwriting. They don't have a screenwriting program here, but I wanna go eventually get my doing creative writing, English creative
Oh,
writing. So,
amazing.
but anyway, I went and, like, I was like, "I got nothing good to say," and my writing is like I go back and read. Do you go back and look at your old stuff and, like, sit there and just be like, "Oh my god, did I actually write this?"
I'm the opposite. I go back and I'm like, "Damn, this is good."
Not me. I go back and I literally am like, "This dialogue sucks." Like,
I'm not I, like,
it's
forbid myself to read my old work because the second I do, I'm like, "Oh, this can still work, like, we can make this happen," like, it's like, just, and then I immediately open the final draft file or whatever or, like, the Word file or whatever it is, and I'm like, start hammering away. It's a very, like, ADHD tendency that I
so
have
you're
to
just,
I'm
like,
just like, "Oh,
in
no,
it.
this is the thing now," and then I'm like, Stop. Stop it. Leave it alone. Leave it in the graveyard where it belongs." Yeah,
I
I'm
should
like, I have the
I
opposite problem, and I feel like that's part of the reason that I have gotten to this point in my career, and not to say that I'm, like, so successful or whatever, but, like, you almost have to have that absolute, just, like, unreasonable amount of confidence in yourself and belief in yourself. I attribute it to my parents. Thanks, mom and dad, for being like, "You can do anything," that very, like, 90s style of
right.
parenting, like, yeah, I think without that kind of, like, blind confidence for absolutely no reason at all, without that, you're not really gonna have, like, the gumption to hack it out.
Yeah, that's so true. Now you never did you ever do a move to LA?
I
Or
never
an
did.
or for that never did.
I never did. I went the other way. I
Good on
moved to
you.
Germany for, like, 4 years, but well, actually 6 if you count the 2 in between. Um, yeah, I never did. I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why. I think it was just, like, life circumstances, like, I'm, like, you get in your life and you're, like, you got your things and your place and your community and your home, and you're like, "I don't
Mhm.
really wanna leave." Um,
Yeah.
so that's kinda what happened to me. I would I, like, if I got a spot in a room or something, of course I would move to LA, like, there's no question, but it would be a lot harder because I have, like, 2 small children now to, like,
To
pack
just
into my
pack up and go.
suitcase,
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
one in each
Yeah, right?
suitcase, just take the bags and go.
And go. Let's get out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So what made you wanna
Did you
move to LA back then did you move from Pittsburgh?
so I'm originally from, the other side of the state near Harrisburg.
Okay.
I grew up in a small town, and I kinda just wanted to get out. I went to Los Angeles when I was, uh, 1994, so I was 12. And I went and saw like, visit my cousins lived out there, and they took me to the World Cup game. I did, like, Magic Mountain. I was like, "Oh my god, I love
Wow.
LA." Like, I love this. And for me, I was like, I started writing a screenplay. I wrote short stories when I was a kid. I found old like, a 1980 Tandy computer where you had to use a floppy disk to actually, like, run it. Found, like, an old novel
So
I
cool.
was writing, like a spy novel, and, like, I started writing screenplays my junior year of high school. I had someone close to me, my cousin had passed away from HIV,
Oh god.
and we were, like, really close, and I was trying to find a way to, like, honor her and, like,
Mm.
tell her story, and so was like, "I'm gonna write a script." I watched Jerry Maguire and then American Beauty, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna just" yeah, I just started reading scripts, and I started writing a script, and I was actually supposed to go to college and play football as a place kicker,
Wow.
and like, at Bloomsburg University and on the Eastern Pennsylvania, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I was gonna
Yeah.
start as a freshman, like, it was like, like, gonna play Division II football, like,
Yeah,
and, like
see, now I'm asking how do you do all these things,
right? And,
you
like
know?
yeah, right? And so, I was like, I'm gonna so I stayed in my college dorm. I went to college anyway, I stayed in my dorm. I went to class for 3 weeks, was majoring in management information systems, and I was like,
Wow.
"This sucks." I actually did a play. I did a play at Bloomsburg that first semester. I acted, like, on stage, and, like, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was called, couldn't tell you. I'd have to look it up, see if they have it on, like, their, like, website somewhere for their past, performances, but I remember, like, I played some old man who was losing his mind. It was fun. It was like a comedy
yeah,
thing. That stuff like, but that stuff's weird to me because I get in that space and, like, if I'm on stage like it, I don't it's like I don't know if for you when you're doing stand up, it's, like, fuzzy, like, I have, like almost like you were drunk, like, blackout drunk and you have, like, glimpses, but you don't, remember the whole
yeah.
thing. I don't know
For
if
me,
that's
it's like
nerves or what that
everything
is.
is, like, burned onto my brain, like, every, facial expression in the audience, like, it's the again, the opposite problem, or where it's like, I see too much,
Okay.
in that moment.
Fair, fair. Yeah, so I withdrew and moved to LA, like, May,
Yeah.
like, the following May, and was like, that's where I wanna be. I wanna go and I wanna give this a shot. I wanna go do that,
Mm.
and I was there for 22 years almost.
Wow, so when did you move back to
Um,
the East Coast?
so during COVID, I reconnected with the, young woman I went on the first date with when I was in 7th grade, and
No.
she was my high school crush. Like, followed her around like a little puppy the lost puppy
Oh
dog
my god.
all the time. And we reconnected during COVID. Like, I had come back and I had sent her stuff over the years when I was writing, working on developing TV series and stuff. It's like, "Hey, do you wanna read?" We kept in touch to Facebook, and, I thought she was married. She thought I was dating some crazy chick in LA, and, like, I come back to visit my dad, and we're like, "Hey," she saw I was in town, like, "Let's get together and let's have let's just catch up." And we've been trying to do it for a few times when we were both in town and never did, and so, finally we did, and it ended up being like a mini first date, and then, like, we just kept in touch after, and I could fly back and forth for, like, $70 round trip,
Right, right, right.
and just go get a new COVID, like, what test or whatever before I fly back in
Yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
days. And then I talked to some of my mentors, we fell in love and I talked to some of my mentors, I was like, "I'm thinking about leaving LA," and they're like, "We're going." Like, one of them's
Yeah,
like, "I'm
yeah,
moving to
yeah.
Nashville. Like, I'm getting out. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need to be here anymore." You know? So, I was like,
Cool.
"Okay, great."
Are you still together?
Yeah,
Guys met each
yeah.
other?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Just
Yeah,
noticing now that
she's,
I'm all greasy.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
look
yeah.
at it. I got a Vaseline filter on my screen here.
Yeah,
So you guys are
she,
still together.
built together, yeah,
Oh
so it
my
was
god.
2021, and so
So
she
cute.
has 3 kids from her first marriage, I have 3 from mine, and then we have a 7-year-old foster daughter that we're fingers crossed about to adopt.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
such a cool
So
story
it's like
too. Damn,
yeah,
you and your cool stories.
right? I try.
That's so romantic. That is like a TV movie right there.
It is. It
Yeah,
absolutely okay,
I'm gonna
well,
steal
she
that.
loves her home so, okay, well, she loves her I have questions this is we're getting jumping ahead here, but
Okay,
I
sorry,
have
sorry,
questions
sorry.
because no, 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 you're good, you're totally fine, this is all free form anyway. So, because she loves her Hallmark Christmas movies,
Mhm.
and, like, she hates how I'm just like, we come in and like the first scene, I'm like, okay, so she's this, like, here's what's gonna happen, and then this is, and like beat by beat, like break it down beat by beat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And like when we
Like,
first got
before it
together,
even
she's like,
starts. Like, looking
I
at the
hate how you do
poster,
that.
you're like, "I know
Yeah,
exactly what's gonna happen."
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's either like an ad exec or she's in publishing or like, whatever it is, it's formulaic, like, cause that's what they are. That's why they work and they work that way, you know? But like, she's like, well, you could do that. I was like, yeah, maybe I should. Like, I have a couple
Man,
ideas, but I'd want to be super meta and super cheesy with it. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to go, I'm like, I'm going to want to go there,
yeah, the honestly, I feel like you're better off to go in that, like, very extreme direction, especially with romance. Like, people want that. People wanna escape. They wanna be carried a whisked away in, like, a romantic tale, you know? They don't wanna
Yeah.
think about the real world. They don't wanna think about, "Well, that's unlikely to happen in real life." Like, duh, obviously, it's a movie. That's why it's on the
that's,
screen,
that's
you
why it's
know?
called suspension of disbelief.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I like, go for it. Honestly, I mean, I just posted recently about on Substack, like last week about how writing TV movies has made me like a better screenwriter overall. And I couldn't honestly, I never thought a single moment about TV movies outside of like cracking jokes about, Hallmark films or whatever those like tired old jokes that we all crack about them.
Yes.
I hadn't
Or the
really
drinking
taken
game for
them.
Hallmark movies. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's just it's a low-hanging fruit when it comes to, like, making jokes, right?
Yeah.
But then I
So,
started writing them, I'm like, "Holy shit, I will never joke about this again." It is such a
okay.
machine, it is so like, the writing of a TV movie is so it's almost, like, more difficult than writing just any old spec
Really?
because you have to hit these beats, you have to hit the
Because
like, you
it's
have
9,
well,
isn't
I
it?
mean, I
Or is it
write
9 or
thrillers, I don't
12? Okay.
what's that?
Is it a so I talked with my manager friend about it because I was like, "If I do this, what" he goes, "Well, you need to get the 8-beat structure, I think is what Hallmark runs under or something like that." 8 or 9, I can't remember
9
what he
act
said it was.
structure is like the
Yeah, that.
usual
Yeah.
that we
Yeah. Is that the same thing
default
for
to.
Lifetime?
Yeah, yeah,
The,
for
like, the
sure.
thrillers that you write? Yeah?
I mean, it's becoming less
Okay.
and less, like, rigid in terms of the 9 act structure because it's very much like d page numbers, it's like the first 20 pages is act 1, and you need to have, like, all of your setup, and you need to have introduce all your it's kind of like essentially like almost the entirety of act 1 in a 3 act structure. But, then the acts are timed to the commercial breaks. So you
That's
have,
what
like
okay.
it has to be, kind of they're, like, compressing the closer you get to the resolution because you're wanting to, like, get more and more commercials in before people go off and, like, do whatever they wanna do at the end of the night.
How d
But
so
because they're on a lot of them, like the 3 of them that have premiered so far on mine, that I've written have premiered on Lifetime Movie Network, where there's, like, not really that many commercials, if any. You don't have to so you're more free nowadays to, like, write in a more of a 3 act structure, but The caveat being you still every 10 to 15 minutes, you still have to have that, like, that
A hook
moment,
or like cliffhanger.
that cliffhanger, that hook, that, like, you gotta bring the audience back into the story with something exciting every, at that same cadence.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, I mean, I have, like, so much respect for it, for the people that make them. It's crazy, like, the timeline that they have to actually produce these things, the actors, how they have to learn everything so quickly, like, it's a huge ask, and it's a huge task, and I feel like people just get dragged to the mud about it, and it kinda pisses me off now that I know how it works from the inside. I'm like, "Shut up.
Right.
You don't even know what it's like to make a TV movie, okay?"
I mean, they're around. They're still around for a reason. Like, did you?
It
So, when you
works,
did
man. It
your
works.
3, did you were able to visit set and go be a
Oh
part of
god,
that
no.
whole thing?
No, no, no.
No, no,
They're like, "Hand us the script. 'Kay.
and
Thank
that's
you.
it.
See you later. Next time we
So,
talk to you will be when you get your production bonus." But you probably won't even talk to you because it's gonna go to your agent probably, and then we're not even gonna talk to you again.
so you hand the script over, and then you don't know how it turned out until you see it on. Like, so you can't like you're like, I want to come visit set. They're just like, no,
No, I don't think it would have been a no, but a lot of like, for me, I live in Toronto, and the last 2 of them were shot in Georgia, so I'm like, "I'm not gonna go all the way down to
right,
Georgia for that."
because you're gonna have to pay for it yourself. It's their
Yeah, they're
budgets
not gonna
aren't
fly you
really
down
like,
there. No, 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 no.
yeah,
Like,
okay,
that's
all right.
absolutely not in the budget. Not even in the budget. Like, there's barely anything fits into the budget. Oh, flying the writer down is, like, the last priority of all time. No, but I mean, I worked very closely with the exec. So all through, like, once you get to, like, pre-production, you're gonna have more edits because the producers are gonna start breaking it down, the director's gonna start breaking it down, have their notes for you. So often it'll be like the first one I wrote, or no, the second one I wrote was I kinda went, like, a bit too fast and loose with it, with, like, locations and characters and, like, locations in characters, something I didn't realize was, like, unless you're gonna if you never produce a script, you're like, "I don't all of these things are immaterial. It doesn't matter if it's set on the moon or not.
Right,
Who cares, right?" Um, but yeah, basically, they were like, "Okay, this character cannot be at this location, this location, this location, this location. Like, they can only be at like 2 of these locations. So you gotta rewrite this so that they're only showing up in these certain places at these certain time." And I'm like, things you don't even think about when you're writing a
right.
spec. You're like, "No, you don't it would never even occur to you."
Oh, I mean, I get that though, because I did so for 12 years of my time in LA, I was a production manager and a first AD, because
Wow,
that's what
yeah,
I was
okay.
doing. Because I didn't have anything like that was the whole I had nothing good to say writing, so I'm gonna learn production management and producing.
That's really smart.
So I was breaking down scripts and doing all like so there's times when I actually love that like left brain stuff where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna be logical and I'm gonna go, you know, AD a movie or something. Like I absolutely love that when
Yeah,
there's like when I've got nothing, when I can't think of something to write. But like
that's awesome.
obviously it's not doing that in Pittsburgh, but I get that. Like you're literally like when you get your character breakdown and you're looking at your breakdown sheet and you're going, well, how the that's a scheduling, like, yeah, because those scheduling nightmares are a thing. How do I make
Yeah,
this
yeah.
work?
Oh my god, yeah. And that's the thing when you're a novice writer and you're just kind of like, "I'm gonna be a screenwriter." And you're like, "Do do 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 do," like learning the structure and learning all the things, and then you're writing a couple screenplays and you're like, "Oh man, I think I really get it now." And you're like, "You don't get it until somebody tries to make your movie, and then you have a very rude awakening about
Well, that I do
everything."
appreciate that you're involved in the rewrites and stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure,
That's
for sure.
actually cool.
Yeah, yeah, like,
Sorry, my
well, and that's the thing too with the TV movie, this never happens in any other context, but with a TV movie, they literally shoot exactly what's on the page. There are no deviations, there's no time for deviations, like, there's no time for the director and the actors to sit around and kinda spitball and, like, think about other dialogue that could work in the scene. No. They verbatim say your words. They verbatim do what you write on the page, so it's kind of nice as the writer to be like, "Oh, they're literally just," because so many times when you're like, "What did you do to my script? Like, what did you people do to my script? Like, this is nothing like I wanted. Like, the characters, like, are they're saying all these words I didn't write, like, blah, blah, blah," and then And then you have a TV movie and they're like literally saying exactly the words that you say. Like you can hold the script and watch the movie and they will be saying your exact lines.
Okay,
Like
that's
which
that's
is
cool.
nice and cool. And like one of the
Yeah.
interesting like bonuses of writing TV movies is like that never happens ever. Like they yeah.
Not in the no, not in the other the indie or the
God
studio
no.
world, no. No. So you said you struggled so you were just a screenwriter for over a decade, no paid work. What kept you going through that? Like, as you're and, like, what made you think, "I'm gonna keep
Mm.
doing this even though nothing's happening?"
Just a love of the craft, really. Just a it's just been fun. It's always been fun for me, you know? I think if you don't have that sense of playfulness and fun with screenwriting, like don't even bother. Don't even get started. Don't like I wish I could go into every single screenwriting class on the first day and be like, if you don't find this to be the funnest thing that you do, like just walk out the door right now because it is the only thing that's going to keep you going. It's kind of like, you know, when they say, you know, marry somebody that you have a basis of a friendship with because in the end, that's all you got. You know, same thing with a screenplay. Like if you aren't enjoying the process and you're not enjoying the writing of it, then there's nothing there for you. You're not gonna have anything until probably a decade later. So it's like you gotta enjoy the process
Yeah.
while you're doing
It
it.
takes
So
a long time.
yeah, it takes
Yeah.
forever and sometimes it never works, you know, and but then again, on the flip side of that, I truly believe with most things in life, if you are have very, you know, I have very like laser focus on this one goal, and I always have, and slowly it starts to work out because if you have that level of investment, then it's anything really, unless you know, obviously within reason, but like anything that you kind of have control over is gonna work if you just keep like chipping away at it, you know?
Absolutely. No, I mean, it does. It really like, look, I've been the bridesmaid a lot and not yet the bride, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But I've been in places and rooms that, like, I mean, some people go their whole careers without being in it, you know, and I love that. Like, I remember the first TV show I developed with, a producer. Yeah, he was at Circle of Confusion at the time, which I guess now they're Circle Management and Production. I've talked about it on my Substack as well,
Hmm.
my TV series Bathory, and but, like, we developed it. I brought in the idea. I'd written the first 3 episodes. I brought in, like, a whole character bible and an episode bible for, like, 100 episodes, and they're like, "Okay, great. We're gonna redevelop this a little bit and figure this out, and then we'll see what happens with it." And but that show, the first people we sent it to was, like, we had a backdoor to HBO, and we got it in,
Wow.
and didn't they, like, we sent it over, and my producer was like, "Guys, we're not gonna hear anything from them for 6 months, so, like, let's put a list together next week. Where else we wanna take the pilot?" Because I, like, basically had a series bible and a pilot, and we were gonna go out with that and see what happens, and, like, and so he's like, Let's talk Monday, we'll put a list together, and we'll do all this," and then he calls us Monday morning, like, 9 AM, he goes, "Okay, so we have a meeting at HBO in 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
They looked at things over the weekend, they wanna talk." Like, so I gave him a 2 week, non-compete, not non-compete, whatever, like, just we're gonna exclusive, like, we're not gonna go anywhere else, and so the first meeting we took on it was HBO. It never came to fruition there, but, like, I also gained one of my amazing mentors out of that, and, like, that to me, like, there's a
Yeah.
win, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely agree with you. Like it's I think to a certain degree it's also about appreciating what you have. I think a lot of people in this well, generally and also in this industry are like they get something and they're like, "Okay, but like the next thing," and like like whatever, you know, just trying to climb up and for me, I'm the kind of person who every single little mini step, I'm like, "Yes!" I'm like, "Oh my god, this is awesome." Like I'm having so much fun and I think maybe it's just a personality thing, but I'm genuinely excited about everything that happens, and I'm also able to just have fun with pretty much anything that I do as long as it's writing. Literally, you can hand me anything and you're like, "Write this." I'm like, "Okay." So, I can always find the fun in something, even if it's you know, even if somebody like the first TV movie I wrote, I didn't write the two-pager for that. I got, like, commissioned to write the script based on the two-pager. So, you know, I'm like somebody else's story essentially. I'm like, I'm having a blast. Like, I can just develop this and have fun with it. And that's the thing, if you're not having fun, then, like, what's the point, you know?
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like,
Like,
why bother?
on that, I took a philosophy class, this past semester, and I remember there's one class we were going through, uh, either it was John Locke or we were looking at, I forget who it was we were looking at, but, um, it was this whole thing about, like, chasing money versus chasing passion and, like, how and I remember, like, I was, like, being very confronted in the class, and the professor, who's, like, my age, was like he's like, "Jay, you good?" I'm like, "Okay, I feel like in this room of 20-year-olds, I need to say what I need to say right now."
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember I was like, "Guys, look, like, I chased the money for a long time. I chased the money for a long time, and what I got out of it was an addiction, and that's it." You know? Like, I
Mhm.
have my kids and everything, and I have those memories, but at the same time, I was left with an addiction, and I was literally in the same place I was 5 years after it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, nothing. And when I started chasing the fun and chasing the passion and chasing the thing that set my soul on fire, which
Yeah,
is really diving into the writing and really diving into that and what's next and what's next and what's next. But chasing that, like, the money, like, the ability to support myself and my kids found me instead of me trying to chase, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't go and make millions, and that's fine, but I was able to live, and it happened, but I was living on a whole lot happier space than when I was chasing, "Okay, well, what's the next job that I need to go make this much money, and I need to go do this, and you know what I mean? Like, it just so, yeah, that made me think of the same thing, like, because it's very
yeah,
true, like, what are you like, if you're not doing it because you enjoy it, then what are you wasting, like,
yeah,
time's the one thing we don't get back. What are we what are you
yeah.
losing to, you know?
And I
Like,
mean, like, even, obviously money is like, that's just the reality of our capitalist society. You gotta make the money somehow, but, like, you know, I bartended for a really long time while I was trying to break in, as they say. And then when I moved to Germany the first time, or no, sorry, the third time, to when I lived in Munich for like 4 years, I was like, okay, obviously putting like a little pin in my aspirations of like English speaking filmmaking because I'm on the other side of the planet right now. But then I was like, okay, I'll take a job as a copywriter because still writing,
right?
still writing. It's maybe not the kind of writing I want to be doing every day, but it's still writing, and I still have that job. I still work part time at that company, and I still write for them. And I'm like, you know what? It pays the bills. It's still in like the kind of like general area of what I want to be doing. So sometimes you just gotta like make it work and find the fun in other. I mean, finding the fun is literally how I fell into writing TV movies. Like I said, I had never once considered writing a TV movie ever in my life. Like, when I wanted to be a screenwriter, I was like, saw myself like on the stage at the Oscars, like getting my Oscar for like best original screenplay. And like, which
Right?
is still gonna happen, by the way.
Yes, it will.
Mark my
I
words.
manifest that with you.
Thank
It's happening
you.
for me too, and I manifest that
I'm
with you.
manifesting it for both of us. We can't win it the same year, but like maybe
No,
we
not
can
at
be
all.
nominated at the same time.
Yeah, or like one of us gets adapted
Yeah,
and one of
you
us
get
gets
one year, and
original,
I'll get
you
the
know?
next year.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
But
Yeah.
like
So
that's what you think about.
yeah. Well, I believe in that. So I don't want to, I don't mean to interrupt, but I believe in that. I feel that manifestation for you and for me so much that, like, my daughter, I took her to the Warner Brothers back lot with her friend was in town. And there's an area where you go through like some studio tour thing, and you can hold an Oscar. And they're like, my daughter's like, "Dad, you want?" I was like, "Nope, I'm not." It's only one time I'm touching that.
That's
Like,
so
I'm not
funny.
putting anything in my hands
No, no,
until,
I'm the
like,
same. I'm the same. I'm like, literally have I have a just like a working document that's called to do, and it's like
okay.
in things that need to be done this week, and then there's like medium term things, and there's like long term things, and then at the top I have like 2025 goals, 2026 goals, 2027 goals. Literally on 2027, it's like win an Oscar. I'm not even joking. It's like on my goals for myself.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, yes, done. I love that. So, okay. So getting into TV writing.
Mhm.
So you talk in a couple of different posts in your Substack about, one in particular, you have a sample script that's, like, done a lot of work for you,
Yes.
like, in a great way.
Heavy lifting.
Um, heavy that's thank you, that's literally the
Yeah.
phrase I was looking for. Yeah. Um, and you talk about how it's probably never going to maybe get made. Like, how does as a writer with that, I mean, I have projects like that I know, like, what is that for you, though? Like, how do you feel about the fact that, like, it's the hardest working script, but it may never see the screen, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, I'm at peace with it. I mean, am I still trying to sell it? Hell yes.
Okay.
You know? Um, is it gonna happen? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, am I trying to sell all of my children off for the highest bidder? Uh, um, and when I say children, I mean my screenplay children, not my
I know,
actual children.
yeah. I know what you meant, maybe people
Yeah.
listening didn't,
You
but
know,
yes, yeah.
my first kids, you know? The first kids, the
Right.
ones I wrote before I had
Well,
my actual children.
they are pieces just like kids are pieces of you.
Oh my
All the
god,
every one
yes.
of those stories is a piece of you.
Yes. But I mean, like, there I have a lot of scripts on my hard drive that I'm like, like, it was a learning process. It was a learning experience. It gave me a lot of, training or experience. And I'm like, whatever, it's maybe it's just not meant to be.
Right.
And that's fine
Fair.
too. I
Yeah.
recently took
It
Joe Gatford, who is an author on Substack as well. I recently took like just like a 1.5 hour workshop that she had. And it was basically like a creative audit of kind of looking at all of the projects that you've done over the last year and then auditing them but like not in the terms of, really like measurable metrics, but how much joy did it bring you? How much experience did it give you? Did you make any connections because of it?
okay, that's
And
cool.
she asked you to kind of analyze your creative projects based on like more important in a way, more important
Right. How
metrics. And
it's yeah.
yeah, and how it impacts you and opportunities that it might have created for you, and stuff like that. So, I see like I kind of always felt that way about my projects, but it was nice to have her kind of, put it into like a rubric almost. And
Right.
yeah, I think a lot of them, they gave me a lot of joy, they gave me a lot of experience. I made a lot of connections to through some of my scripts. So, yeah, I mean, if they don't happen, there's always the next one,
Absolutely. So that spec one, is that how you got into TV movies? Because how
Yes.
did you that so
Yeah,
that
that
is
was the
how,
one
okay.
that so my agent, well, first of all, that script had gotten optioned, eh, like, twice, actually. I think it's been optioned twice anyway, but it got optioned, and then the purchase price was really, like, bonkers, and one of my acquaintances is a literary agent, so I was like, "Finally, I have something to bring to you and to lay on your desk like a sacrificial lamb.
You're
Here
right.
is an option agreement," you know? And then she was finally able to take me on as a client because obviously her agency wouldn't have just let her take any old buddy on as
Right.
a client. So that was what got me on her roster. And then from there, she was pitching me for, whatever came up, and this opportunity with Neshama and Marvissa Entertainment, which is like their two of like Neshama is the Canadian branch, Marvissa is the American branch, and they work together. They are like one of the biggest ones who make TV movies. They were like put a call out for writers because they were looking for, yeah, somebody to commission somebody to write a concept that had already been approved by Lifetime. And then so I sent that script in as my sample, and then they hired me based on that script. So it's like those samples, they work so hard, they need to put their
Yeah.
feet up. Like they work
Yeah.
so
And just
hard.
chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, so in your experience of because it's 4 TV movies right now, right? One hasn't been
Yeah,
released, or yeah.
the fourth is currently in post, so it'll come out
Okay.
probably like in the summer next year.
So we all as writers, we get notes, whether we're going to like our friends or our people like that we trust for notes, or if in your case, like with the network and things like that, and EPs and everything. Like, is there a note that you get most often?
Ooh, that's a good question. Um, Hmm. Uh, for for TV and movies, mostly it's like, okay, this is a bit complex. So can we just like streamline a couple things here? And then like, okay, I could do that.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest note that I get probably pretty much every time.
Okay.
Like this is a bit
What's
like much. There's a lot of moving parts here. Can we
okay,
have
so
less moving
simplify.
parts?
Gotcha.
Y
What's the strangest one that you've ever gotten?
My god. Just on TV movies or in general?
In general. Yeah.
Um, I've gotten a lot of, like, pretty sexist notes over the times of my life. Men trying to tell me how to write women and what women want and what women need and stuff like that. I'm just like, "I don't know about that." You
Yeah.
know?
Maybe.
Those are the notes where I'm like, "That's" yeah, but, yeah, I mean, that's a problem everywhere. It's like in 2025, and it's, like, still a big issue for, I'm sure, not just me, but every woman. I mean, it's still an uphill battle, even though the
Yeah.
world have you believe that, like, everything's fine and equal.
No,
Yeah, so, I mean,
it's
there's
not.
that, recently though, like, I don't know if you know that we're gonna shoot a found footage film in, like, a month.
Yes.
I'm
Yep.
currently doing rewrites for that, like, literally rewriting it as we're in pre-production, as the director is, like, breaking down the script, like, it's all happening at the same time. I'm, like, losing my fucking mind, to be honest, but, like, because we all know each other and we're all friends, we're all, like, professionals, like, he's actually a director, like, our producers are actually like, it's not just
Mhm.
we're, like, film
Right.
friends.
Yeah. Working professionals. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, we always say, like, what's the note behind the note? That's
yeah.
our, like, our
Ooh.
new thing. Like, what are they really trying to say with this? Like, if they're saying, "I don't like this about," the midpoint or whatever, it's like, what are they trying to say? Are they feeling like it's the act 2 is getting saggy? Are they feeling like and if so, what is causing the sag? So to kind of, like, almost like the note behind the note is, like, almost addressing, like, the cause and not the symptom of it. Which is
Right.
something lately in my notes that I've been really trying to do, of, like, reading the note and being like, what do they really mean by this? What could like, how can you, like, go down follow the little trail to find the actual cancer or whatever it is in the script
Mhm.
that's causing the person that's bumping
I
with the
like that.
person?
Right. I
So,
like
yeah,
that. What's the note? What's the note
what's the note
behind the
behind the
note?
note? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they really trying to say?
Huh.
And maybe they don't have the ability to even say it. Maybe they don't even know. Sometimes, when you give notes, you're like, this isn't really working. I don't really know why, or like, I
Right.
probably could figure it out for someone else, but I'm like, that's your job? If I'm giving notes and like, it's not working for me, figure it out?
Right.
But yeah, trying to figure out what like, trace that trail until you find, the root cause of whatever it is that's bumping with somebody.
Gotcha. Okay. So, um, so you said you do copywriting, which I've been doing copywriting for the last 8 years now, full
Yeah,
time. Pays the bills. It's great. Love
love
it.
it,
Meant to
love
say that
it.
earlier. Yeah, like it's a whole different type of writing, you
Yeah, it
know.
really is.
But so you do that. You do the TV movies. You do your Substack, and everything like. But what's your so obviously the podcast is obviously called "What's Your Why." So what is your why? Like, what's the fire that drives you? Well, like, what is beneath it? Like, why do you keep writing? It's sort of similar, I guess, what started it, but I think it's also different because there's a follow up question. Then, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I don't know. I honestly, this is a good exercise for me because I haven't really thought about it in those terms of, like, why the hell am I doing this? Um, I think there's a certain, like, aspect of legacy there, just like a personal legacy. There's and maybe this isn't a good reason to write stuff or want to make things that don't disappear. It's like the
Mhm.
impermanence of life. There's been a lot of, like, grieving and loss, or, like, not necessarily in my immediate circle, but around me lately, and I've been thinking a lot more about like grief and death and legacy and like what that all means, and I have my like very beloved grandmother who would have been 100 years old like a month ago. Um, and I'm just thinking like my kids literally she means nothing to them. Like she meant everything to me and she means nothing to them. And it's not because like there's literally the only reason is that there was no personal connection there. So I feel like
Right.
once you're gone and once the people who immediately whose life you are immediately imprinted upon are gone, then like that's it for you in this life. And making films, making something that's going to last longer than my life and longer than maybe my kids' lives or their kids or whoever whoever might come after that. It's like almost a way of like preserving your legacy. um
Mhm.
so that's the one side of it, and then I guess just like for me it's very much about the examination of just how our minds work and how human beings work and why we work the way we work, and just trying to unpack that in story, because I do believe that story is like the fundamental aspect of humanity. Like that's literally what separates us from every other creature. Although I'm not going to say that the whales don't have their stories. Don't get me wrong, they probably do. But it's the one thing that kind of like our entire culture, our entire like intelligence really is just like what is memory if not just story, right? Memory is just a
Mhm.
story that you tell yourself over and over and you don't forget it.
Right.
So it's like storytelling is the most fundamental thing about being a person that exists. So just me wanting to like I have a very deep curiosity about humanity, about other people, about literally it's so annoying for everyone that I know because I just want to like I am the one who asks all the questions. Like I need to know every detail, even if it's like kind of making you uncomfortable. Like I need to know. Like I'm that kind of I want to just like understand where people are coming from, what makes them tick, like all these things that make us who we are. And I think that like almost like obsession with character and because I mean ultimately every person on earth is a character. Um in their own stories, in other people's stories. So, yeah, just like that kind of obsession with character and trying to understand it. I don't necessarily think like I have lofty aspirations of like I mean, I do want to change people's hearts. I want to make people more accepting and understanding of each other. But
Right.
just for me, it's more just like a trying to understand humans and then communicate, like put that out into the world so that it fosters understanding through what I've understood. If that makes any sense.
Mhm. And how you see it, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess
Absolutely.
that's
No,
kinda
that
how I
does
feel
make
about it.
sense. Okay. Got it. Alright.
Thank
Has
you for
has
asking that
your
question because
Of
now I've
course.
had
Of course.
to verbalize that.
I love that. I'm happy to contribute. I love contributing. That's why I write. Like it's very
Yeah.
similar. Like also, so like my kids can understand, how I see the world and how like just I don't know. I'm jumping ahead too, but like there's times when I'll be sitting there, where I was like, who the fuck cares what I'm thinking?
Yeah, yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares? The imposter syndrome, which we'll get to. That's like in like three questions.
Mhm.
But, like, has your why changed over the years? Or is that really, like, when you first started, was it, like, I'm writing because I need to sell something and I wanna just establish myself, and then, you know, has it, or is that sort of a consistent
No,
thing
I think it's been pretty
underneath?
consistent, I would say, like,
Okay.
that curiosity about people and humanity has been there my entire life, certainly. I mean, I've always been, like, over asking of people my entire life. Whenever
Like,
something
th
happens,
that
I'm like,
curiosity of
I know.
yeah.
Like, it's so funny, me and my husband have this I'll be like, "Oh," like, it almost is like okay, I'm gonna have a hot take here. I feel like
Okay.
people who like gossip are, like, the people who are most curious about humanity and what makes us tick. There's in my case, I turned out to be a screenwriter and a storyteller, and that's the way that I express that curiosity. Some people just really like to gossip, and they wanna know every little thing about everybody's lives. It's the same drive, and it comes from the same place. We're just doing it in
Okay.
different ways. So,
Got you.
you know what I mean? It's like that
Yeah.
so, I'm like, my husband will come home and I'll be like, "Oh my god," and then this person did this and this person did that, and then they're da 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 da. He's like, "Why do you even care?" Like, I could not care less about what, like, Susie and Bobby and
Okay.
Joey are up to, and, like, he just
Okay.
genuinely doesn't care, and I'm like, I care so much about that stuff that it's like it's interesting that I mean, that's probably why we're together because 'cause we're, like, very, very good at balancing the
So
other one out.
yeah, I never thought of it that way, but, like, there's times when I'm just, like, I'm trying to figure out too, or I'm trying to understand something, and I'm, like, talking out loud to my wife, Shannon, and literally she says the same thing your husband does, but to me, she's just like, "Why do you care?" Like,
Yeah, I'm like,
"It
I
doesn't
care
matter." I'm like, "But it matters to
so
me,
much.
like, I need to figure this out. I need
Yeah,
to understand."
like, unreasonably caring about things and other people's lives and what they're doing and why they're doing it, and yeah.
So, yeah.
So,
Yeah, 'cause
yeah, it's,
and then
like,
I
yeah,
wanted
it's a story.
yeah,
It's just we all just want the
yeah,
story, whether you
we
get it in a
do,
film or a piece of gossip at the hair salon.
right? Yeah, or in 5 seconds on Instagram in, like, some sort of clip or whatever.
There you go.
You know? Yeah. Or that's why reality TV does so well.
My god, yes. Oh, I love my reality TV.
Oh, you do?
Oh,
I don't
ugh,
watch it. Like, I just I
I
probably have some story about it. I could probably, like, get a whole lot of material to write if I was watching it, but
my god, are you kidding me?
I also I worked on
Character
The
study.
Bachelor.
Just,
That's
like,
true. Alright.
unbelievable character study, like, it's all there, like, presented to you
Okay.
on a
So what are,
platter.
like, your top 3 favorite
My god,
ones
I don't wanna
to
out
just, like
myself right now. Um, okay, Love is Blind, 1,000%. All the
Okay.
countries, I don't care. I love all the different countries because then you get to learn about their cultures and their way of human interaction in a
Okay.
different environment, in a different culture. I'm like, I love every one of those. The American one is the trashiest. It is the one that feels most like junk food?
Okay.
Whereas when you watch, like,
Alright.
France, you're like, "Okay, this is, like, a cultural moment." But you watch the American one, you're like, "No, I'm like, this is bad for me. This is really bad for me." Okay, so even worse, we're getting worse now. The Ultimatum. I also find that so
Ultimatum.
fascinating, the idea of, like so the whole premise of the show is that couples who are, like, in jeopardy, one wants to get
Okay.
married, one doesn't. They go on the show and they're, like, giving the other one an ultimatum, and then they start dating other people, and they're, like, tempted by other people, and then they have to pair off and go live with another person for, like, 3 weeks, and then at the end, they live with their
Mhm.
original partner for 3 weeks, and then at the end, they have to decide if they're gonna get married or not. So,
Jeez.
yeah, I mean, it's I'm like, I feel very, like, almost guilty when I watch it, 'cause I'm like, "This is so exploitative that I am probably being a bad person just, like, in participating in this right now." But, yeah, it's like character study, like, you wanna see what people are about, you wanna see what happens when they're in the pressure cooker. Oh my god.
Right.
Yeah. And then, I mean, those are pretty much my only 2 that I really go to. I used to love, oh my god, before it was canceled, the Japanese one, Terrace House. Ooh, Terrace House, yes. I used to
Terrace
love
House,
Terrace House. It was
okay.
just, like, a bunch of young people living together. And, like, I think the objective was that they were trying to pair off, but then there was this horrible tragedy, and then they took it off the air. One of the characters, I say, one of the actors was kind of, like, bullied into committing suicide, and then they, like, took
Jeez.
it off the air after that. So, yeah, it was really good up until that horrible
And
tragedy,
that
of course.
right, yeah,
Yeah, and then people were like,
absolutely.
"Okay, this is too much.
Yeah,
These people are being
it's
exploited."
a little yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little much. Okay, character study, interesting. I'm gonna have
yeah.
to because I worked on The Bachelor for 3 seasons, I was a production assistant,
I mean, I never
and that
watched The
was
Bachelor. I never did.
my mom was obsessed, so she was
Yeah.
living in LA, and I'd, like, leave set and be like, "So, do you wanna know who's going
Oh
off
my
the show
god.
tomorrow?" No.
That's so funny.
She'd
Did
be
she
like,
say
"Do
yes?
not tell me."
Did you
No,
tell
she's like,
her?
"Don't ever tell me," because my job one of my jobs was literally, like
Right.
so, like, they'd pack you up
Like, everyone's supposed to pack before the rose ceremony, and then they give us PAs, like, names. They give us, like, a names. We go in the rooms, and we grab their luggage and throw it in a van. They literally, as soon as they're not chosen, they put them in a van, and they're gone. They're
My
just,
god.
like,
That's so
right out
abrupt.
the door.
Oh my
Oh, it
god,
is.
where do
It's
they
so
take them? To the
abrupt.
airport?
The airport hotel, they just put them in a shuttle van, and they're gone.
My
Like,
god.
or shuttle van and limo or whatever it is. They, like, record their, like, outro of them leaving, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
they're just, like, out of the house,
Wild.
go. Like, oh,
I guess you're not chosen, then
it
what are you
felt
doing hanging
so, like,
around, you
there was
know?
times that I'm just like, on that show, I was like, I felt really kinda skeevy. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I
and
mean,
they
that's
do
the
it in
thing.
6 weeks. I'm impressed. It's 6 weeks and you're, like, engaged. I'm like, "Okay." I got nothing to talk about. My first marriage, we were literally met and married 3 weeks later, so in
My
Vegas. So,
god.
yeah.
See, you wanna talk to me about my
Yeah.
stories, like, you got the stories, man. You're the one with the stories. Met and married in
And then
3
had
weeks.
3 kids in 3 years. Yeah.
Oh my
Irish
god.
triplets.
Immediately, or did you wait a little bit?
Like, we were married in May and our first was born in December. Yeah.
Okay. So, I
Yeah.
see why you got married.
Yeah.
Wait,
And then
June,
literally, like,
July, August, September, October, November.
pregnant
Okay.
before. Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
basically impregnated her within
Like,
1 month of meeting her.
basically, yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then, yeah, and then the next one was born in January, like,
like a year
13
later.
months later. Yeah, 13 months later, yeah. And
My
then
god.
April, and then the next April, the next
Yeah.
one was, yeah.
My
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
That's so
didn't yeah.
wild.
We didn't waste any time.
Yeah, apparently not. How old were
Yeah,
you then?
21. I had my first
You
at
were
21.
21.
Like, I'd just been in LA for, like, 2 years, and then
Oh my
yeah.
god. I would have not I was literally, like, still basically a child at the age of 21, so that would have
Yeah,
been
I mean,
so
I was a kid raising kids,
yeah,
which is a whole conversation I have with my kids,
yeah,
you
you're like
know? Um,
well,
like,
now
kid
you gotta
raising
redo.
kids. I know, right? Exactly. Now I gotta redo. I
Yeah.
do,
I
you
mean,
know?
I am I was 37 when I had my third for my first, and I'm like, me and my husband, we had all the fights. We were together for a decade before we had kids. We had all the fights. We had like ourselves established. I was comfortable in my skin. He was comfortable in his skin. Like we had
Mhm.
gone out, we had partied, we had like done all the things. And then we're like, okay, and now all I have to focus on is having these wonderful children. I feel like there's something to be said for like the old parents, you know?
I think that yes. I mean, look, I mean, we lasted 3 kids in 3 years, and we were divorced, like, 6 when my youngest was 6 months old. Like, it was, like, it
Wow.
just it was not, it was just we were young and,
Yeah, yeah.
like, kids raising kids, and just did not work,
Yeah.
but if we had taken the time, but again, I would not change it because my kids are here,
Yeah, of
and,
course. And I mean,
like,
and now you're going to
absolutely
college
would
with
never
them.
change that. I am going to
I'm not
college
gonna
with
go to
them,
college
and
with
I'm
my kids. I'm gonna be an old fart by
right?
the time my kids are in college. I'm
And
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
an
have to write a
elderly
movie.
woman by the time
I
my
gotta
kids are in
deliver you
college.
I gotta deliver you a movie about that,
Yeah, yeah,
about me
totally.
in college with my kids.
Yeah, my
Um,
version of that movie is I'm gonna be like 60 years old at college with them.
which is also an
Kind of
interesting
funny, yeah,
journey.
for sure.
Yeah.
And go back and get another
Um,
degree when they go to
right?
college. I literally
Yeah.
would because all I wanna do is be with them. Like, I would literally follow them to college. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna be the Michael Scott, or not Michael Scott, Michael what's her last name? In Arrested Development? Michael Bluth. I'm gonna be the
Michael
Michael
Bluth,
Bluth.
right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the Michael
Yeah.
Bluth someday. I'm
I
gonna
am the
live
Michael
in
Bluth right
my
now, but
son's
not
dorm
that
room with
clingy.
him.
Right? I said so when I was registered for classes, so we did community college last year,
Yeah.
and then now at, like, a Slippery Rock University, so a Division II school. But up until, like, 3 weeks before classes, they had me in a dorm, and I was like, "No, I'm a commuter student, like, I'm not." But I just said to my kids, like, I feel like that's a short film called The Roommate, where,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
they show up to move in, and, like, I'm in there, and they're like, "Oh, hey, you must be my roommate's dad." And I'm like, "No, I'm your roommate."
It's so funny.
And,
That's
I was
hilarious.
like, "Yeah, it's great. Absolutely." Okay, so, we talked about struggling and how you've done it, like, for 10 years and things like that. Like, do you think that that struggle, kind of rejection, do you think those things make you be a better writer? Or do you think, is it just a story as creatives we kind of tell ourselves to make the suffering feel worth it?
Interesting. I mean, I think every rejection is a lesson, right?
Mhm.
Uh, it stings, obviously. It stings less the more you get it. It's like a yeah, it's like anything else that the pain dissipates the more you experience it, I suppose. But uh yeah, I'd say like I mean, I'm grateful for all the rejection that I've faced because it's like it does it I mean, I do believe that it does make you a better writer because you're like, okay, either I adjust what I'm doing or I'm gonna just be doomed to experience this over and over
Repeat the same
again.
thing. Right.
Yeah, so I need to keep working and I need to work harder and yeah, I think like a resilience to rejection is also kind of necessary if you want to become a screenwriter. I mean, have fun with
Yeah.
it and don't be if the idea of screenwriting is not fun to you, like just pack your bags and head home. If the idea of rejection is not fun for you, like don't even bother. Just go do something else, you know? Go do something else. There's lots of
Absolutely.
things to do in this life. You can
Yeah.
do anything
So
else.
I'm gonna so your tip earlier about what you would say when you first walk into a screenwriting class, they're actually doing a creative screenwriting class at Slippery Rock that I'm in for next semester.
Oh my god.
That's just like he's the first time he's teaching it, and like I had him for creative writing this semester, and he's like, "So, what should we do? Like, what book should I use, or what? You know, like he's just like, I'm thinking about using these, and I was like, great. So like he got the book list, and it's like Save the Cat, and there's another one that he wants to do, but I just thought I was like, look, Save the Cat is to me is so, but I'm gonna have to steal that. Like, if you guys aren't don't have fun with this, like then like you're in the wrong class. Like, what are you doing?
100%. Unless
It's so true.
well, that's the thing, that even applies to, like, doing it as a hobby. Like, even if you don't want it as a career, if you're not having fun with it, then then there's no point in doing it anyway. Like, having fun is 100% a prerequisite for being a screenwriter. Being okay with somebody telling you to your face that you suck over and over
Right.
again, that's also a requirement, and if it's that idea makes you wanna run for the hills and, like, just run, you know?
Right.
Just run.
And being afraid, I think being afraid to workshop and put your stuff out there so you can get notes and feedback. Like there
Yeah,
was
I
a
think
time
yeah.
that for like 5 years where I would get notes and I get angry and mad and like, no, no, no. Like, and I'm just like, friends were
I
like, I'm
still
not
do
giving
that
you notes
sometimes.
anymore. I know, but there's some things I will fall on a sword
Yeah,
for.
yeah, of
I'm
course,
like,
of course.
no, that has to stay, you
Yeah,
know?
because that's the thing, as the writer, you're like they're like, "Yeah, well, in this scene, can you remove this or whatever?" And I'm like, "No, because then my entire house of cards is gonna collapse, like, I can't do
Right.
that." And then you just have to
Yeah.
justify it, you just have to be like, "I obviously have a deeper understanding of this story, and this just can't go anywhere," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I mean, yeah, it's a necessary part of it, and that's the thing, with getting no's, I still 100% get pissed off sometimes at notes, like, I'm not gonna lie about that. But, uh, yeah, learning to take the notes, I mean, yeah, you're not gonna become a screenwriter if you don't learn to take notes, like, it's all part of the
Yeah.
game, you know?
Yep. Yeah, so true. So do you believe this is actually a question that I've asked everyone so far, and I think this is like one of those like something I'm fascinated by.
Mhm.
Like fascinated by people's interpretations of it. But do you believe pain and trauma make for better creativity and art? Like could you
Hmm.
write without pain and trauma? Or oh yeah, just that
Hmm. Yeah, you can write without pain and trauma. I think it's a bit, like, abusive to make that, like, a requirement of good art.
right, fair. Yeah.
Um, do does pain and trauma help with with writing a story that's gonna impact people who have had similar pain and trauma, which is, like, basically, the entire population of the Earth? 100%, but I don't think it's a requirement in order to do good art. I think I had a very blessed childhood. I mean, we weren't, particularly well off, but, we had a lot of love in our house. We had a lot of understanding, and my parents are crazy supportive of me, and there's literally nothing in my childhood that I would deem, I mean, let's talk about childhood, that I would deem, like, traumatic or something like that, but, I mean, I still I think that is the journey of a screenwriter, is to understand people's pain and suffering and be able to translate that into something that resonates with everybody. And I don't think you necessarily need to have gone through those things uh to, be able to understand the human condition, you know? And I
Fair.
don't
I
want people
do.
to go through pain and suffering.
No,
That's
I think
like
like
that's the point. It's like I wish it wasn't so. I wish we could all just pretend, that these things are just imaginary, and you know, let that be escapism for us. If we lived in a world where like nobody had pain and trauma, and the escapism was like witnessing pain and trauma on screen, like that would be the ideal situation. But we need something to connect to each other, and that's story. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's just being like, you're not alone. I got you. I see
right.
you. I'm
Like, I
here.
see you, right? I
Yeah.
recognize you in me,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've said in your Substack, that I started this publication when my 4th TV thriller film got greenlit and the imposter syndrome finally left my body. Um, what took so long? Has it actually left? What was different about that 4th one when it finally left?
I mean, I think it was just kind of like, I think at the point when it became easy, I think that's when my imposter syndrome goes away, is when it goes from being like a learning process and a struggle. I mean, not to say that I'm not learning and I'm not so in the midst of it, always like forever learning.
Absolutely.
But when it will switch from being like something that was really difficult and that I had to, really put my whole attention into to do it right, to like
Mhm.
something that like feels kind of natural and just kind of ingrained and built in, like that's the point when I'm like, okay, no, I actually do know what I'm doing right now. And that's pretty much how I feel about any situation, where any new thing that I'm doing, when I hit the point where where I feel like I hit my stride, then I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
no, I'm doing the thing because I'm doing the thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
got
So
it.
don't I don't feel I don't really have a sense of imposter syndrome anymore, because probably because I'm over 40, and all your fucks just disappear when you turn 40. It's mwah, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love that. I was just like, where did they all go? I'm like, where are all the fucks? They're gone now.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, giving like the fucks disappearing obviously helps a lot, but I think it's just like, I think an appreciation for what you've accomplished and focusing on that is what removes imposter syndrome, because you're like valuing all the things that you've accomplished in your life without looking at other people and without comparing yourself to other people. I think that's kind of like, and it keeps you present. It keeps you like grounded in what you're doing for yourself. If you're not like looking around at what everybody else is doing and you're just kind of like doing your own thing, then you don't really compare yourself to anybody else.
Which for a lot of people is hard. That feeling like I mean, I've had it sometimes in my career where I see people younger than me or different friends who are like just taking off, and I'm just like, ugh, but you get to a point where, like you said, where you sort of the fucks start to disappear and you start to
Yeah.
realize like there is more than enough to go around for everyone,
God, yeah.
and everyone's time is always different,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that's the thing, you never really know what anyone is going through truly,
Right.
what they've like they're oh my god, I can't remember the name of the song, but there's this okay, now I got to look at my phone for a second.
You're good.
There's a song that I literally just listened to it last night, trying not to play it on the volume here. Um um it's a song called Money. It's like a rap song called Money, and it's like one of the lyrics is like, um, something to the effect of like, "Oh, you came up overnight, and it's actually been like, you only see me coming up. You don't see
Right, right.
the like 10 years that
The
happened to get
rise.
me to this point. Like that there is no such thing really as like a what's it called? Like a person who just like, what's the word? There's a word for that. When you
Overnight
like
success.
overnight success.
Yes.
I am like, I will die on this hill. There is no such thing as an overnight success. I do not
Okay.
believe it.
I At one time in my life, I, um, early, like 2002, 2003, maybe it was later than that. Oh, it was like 2006 or so. I can't remember exactly when it was. A friend of mine from high school moved out to LA, and he just graduated Temple and their theater program with like 5 other people, and they all moved out to LA. And there was one of the guys in the group, um, uh, Kunal, and I just literally forgot his last name, but I shouldn't because he's on Big Bang Theory. He was in he was part of that group. He was in LA for 7 days, and he auditioned for that show, and he booked that show.
Oh
And,
my god.
like and I was like so I saw it once. I was like, but that
Yeah, but
never
he
happened.
put in 4 years of acting training before that.
That's true, he did.
It
Yes,
wasn't
that's true, he
overnight.
did. Well, and longer than that too, in the course of his life. Yeah, that's true. It really
Yeah.
wasn't you're right, it wasn't overnight. It was a lot
So he
longer,
like
yes.
he had to reach the point of somebody being able to say yes to him in the room. That's what I'm saying. Even if a person like has very little experience in that particular field, maybe they put in like 5, 10 years in something else that's adjacent and that has helped them be prepared for this moment, you know? I don't
Right.
believe in overnight successes. I don't think it's a thing. Prove me wrong,
No.
world.
Well, fair. So then I guess I didn't win this because you're absolutely right. It really wasn't overnight. So that's true. That is so true. Um, so in playing along with imposter syndrome, which is really grounded in fear, and all of us have our own fears and fear of wasting our life on something that might not pan out, fear of being frauds is one of the ones that the first one I struggle with. But like, how has fear shaped the choices you've made and like your life and your path, or has it? Has it not?
Mm. Um, I'm like a generally quite fearless person.
Okay.
And I think it's because I was gifted the confidence that my parents instilled within me and the fearlessness of knowing that they always have my back. I think when it like a lot of like these things all comes down to like how you were raised as a kid, you know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think people who are living in fear are probably people who had like unstable emotional connections with the people who raised them, and that's probably contributing to why they're afraid to do things in like on their
Yeah.
own. So I think being blessed to have a relatively fearless existence as a child, I think definitely like set me on the path of not really being afraid. I've like my dad always tells the story of when I was like probably 6 years old, there was this we were at the water park and there was this huge slide that was like almost like a 90-degree angle. It was just like this massive slide. And my dad was like I was like, Daddy, Daddy, I want to go on that. And he was like, okay. And then he took me up to the top. He's like, his knees are like knocking together on the way up. He's like, he doesn't want to do this thing. And I'm like, let me see. And then I walked over to the edge of the slide and I looked down. And then my dad was like, oh, okay, well, this is the moment she says, no way in hell, and walks
Right.
down the stairs. What do I do was sit my butt down and go, and I didn't even just like go down the side. I like yanked myself down the slide, you know? So that's
Oh
kind of like
man.
the vibes that I've been giving for pretty much my
Okay.
entire life of like running straight into the danger in every way. But yeah, that I mean, like I said, that I was blessed with a childhood where I didn't have to worry about falling on my ass too badly, you know? So yeah, it's a privilege to not to have a fearless attitude towards life.
Yeah, that's good. It is. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
I I did, and then I struggled with an addiction, and that kind of ruined it all.
Mm.
And then so I've been kind of building back from there.
Yeah, for
You
sure,
know,
for sure.
like that. Which really that was just driven by this fear of being alone, terrified of being alone. But then, literally, ultimately, I find myself just getting high alone.
Yeah.
So the thing I'm afraid of most I'm doing, and then it's a fear of success, like it was self sabotage at its finest.
Yeah.
Like, "Ooh, we're getting close. Let me see if I can fuck this up,"
Yeah.
Like,
Was that like a conscious thing for you or were you
it was something I came and realized later, like, what was
mm,
behind it when I started to kinda look and go, "What was behind it? What was the reason I
right.
would, go, buy a couple grams of coke and disappear for 3 days," Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well, let's be real, that was, like, one night. But, like,
yeah.
like,
I mean,
But no, it really
I
was.
say,
When
I
I
think a
what's
person can
that?
take a lot that amount of cocaine in just a couple hours, right?
Yeah,
I've never been into
I
the
mean,
drug.
it's a yeah, it depends. It depends how pure it is and what it's cut with. Yes,
Yeah,
but like, no, it literally my tolerance was so high at the end. It was just it was stupid.
yeah,
But now when I started looking back and going, what was I doing? And it really was just like, oh, I'm getting close to actually like being responsible for my own life and something actually going really well. And it's like, oh well, I'm fucking terrified of that. So
mm,
let's go numb. You know,
yeah,
a bad breakup or like everything I'm celebrating was like, oh, let's go
mm,
celebrate it and get drunk and do this. And then it's like, well, then I sleep for 2 days and, and I
yeah,
somehow fuck something up and it just becomes this constant cycle of self-sabotage. I'm
yeah,
a
yeah.
master at that. Absolute master at it. I want
You're
to write a
working on
movie
it.
about it, but I'm working on, oh, it's every day. I journal every morning. I do sort of my own little writing and like that self exploration of like what is behind all of these, like you said, like when you're writing, trying to understand people and be seen and feel seen, it's like, well, what was really behind, what's the note behind the note, So
What's the
like, what
note
was
behind the
the,
note?
you know, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. That works for people's
Absolutely.
trying to, like, unravel their own psychology too, I think. What's the
It
note
does.
behind the
Absolutely.
note? What's the
Yeah.
feeling behind the action? Yeah,
Right, like, why what is the real reason to make this choice? Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
So, so you write your TV movies, you said it's something people look down on, even what'd you say? You said, "Even if Steven Spielberg could start in TV movies and win 2 Oscars, why can't I?" So, like, why are TV movies the new thing that you love? What do you love about it? Yeah.
yeah. Um, what I love about it is that they get made. That's my
Fair,
favorite part about it, is that
right?
they go from being a screenplay to a movie. That's the best part. No, but in all honesty, I think it's just it's fun to work within, like, such strict constraints for me. I'm the kind of person who I enjoy, like, a bit of a constraint because then I'm like, "Ooh, I get to figure out how to play in this within these very kind of strict guidelines." What I find exciting about TV movies at this point is that the culture of, what is acceptable content for a TV movie is certainly starting to shift, and I think it's,
Mhm,
with streaming and there, just people. I think there is, at least in the thriller space. I'm not really sure about I can't really speak to the Christmas movies because I don't write those, but at least in the thriller space, that kind of the idea of the kind of like blameless female protagonist who's had this horrible, thing thrust upon her, whatever it may be, who's being, hounded and chased or whatever. That's kind of going away, and we're starting to see a lot more kind of like three-dimensional women and what happens when, women don't make the best choices sometimes, and it's also okay to not be, like, morally blameless, which a
mhm,
lot of these films had really focused on. So, I just think it's like an exciting opportunity to explore humanity in a way that is accessible to people, because what if not is accessible to someone than a TV movie, you know?
right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Speaking of how sort of that space is changing, you've said TV movie characters are evolving, they're losing their perfect sheen, what you just talked about, like with that. And like the villains have layers and that you love being a part of that shift. How do you push against the genre expectations while still giving audiences what they want and expect from a lifetime?
Um, yeah, I mean, that's always the challenge. That's like every time I pitch a new story, I'm like, coming at it from I have my POV and what I want to say, and then I go take it to my exec, and she's about the same age as me, and we really get along like quite well as people. She has similar kind of goals for the future of the genre, so we kind of just like keep pushing until they crack and they say yes
Okay.
to something. So I mean, that's all you got to do is to just, and just a refusal to not like be not tell this tropey stories and just say, I'm gonna write something that's gonna fit with this model but maybe the characters are gonna feel a little bit different. Yeah. I don't know if that
Okay.
answered your question. I have no idea.
No, it did. Absolutely. It did. Absolutely. Well, it
Sometimes I get
actually
to the
made
end
me
of a
think of
question and I'm like, "I don't think I answered that."
No, it definitely wasn't a word salad, so you're good.
Great.
Um, so that answer actually, and something you said earlier when we were talking about notes and like men giving you notes that like, well, this is not really how women are, or what, all those kinds of things. I remember for me, I was in a writers group one time, and this was probably 6, 7 years ago, maybe a little longer. But like I brought in some pages, like opening pages of a screenplay. It was like the first time you meet the female character. And a lot of the stuff that I've written has been female driven type stuff. And for me,
Mhm.
that's because of my daughter, and like I just want her to see these women, like my best interpretation as a guy, because I can't
Mhm.
write, like I'm never gonna be perfect on that, obviously. Um, but like there's one of the girls in the group, she gave me this note. She goes, like your intro, she goes, please stop introing a woman saying she's beautiful or she's sexy or she's all like, she goes, your intros for these guys are great. And like they're doing something. You have like this sort of idiosyncratic like intro where we're seeing just these, we know them. Like, and then the girl you write beautiful, she goes, please stop. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, and then I went back and looked. I remember I went back and looked at night, the last 5 things I wrote, and I went, "Oh, fuck, I do it on everything.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
female
yeah.
character, every
Yeah.
female thing." And I was like, "Okay." So, like, it is actually when I give notes to someone, that's actually one of the notes that I give now is, like, I've taken that on, like, "Look, don't do it this way." Like,
Yeah, yeah.
really trying to give them the same energy, give it the same energy you're giving, a dude,
Yeah.
Like you said, it's not really fair,
Yeah,
Like
100%, and I do the same thing. I'm like, I think that's kind of like what you do when you're younger is you give, like, a physical description. Like, I swear to God, I wrote things when I was young of, like, "They have brown hair." Like, why does that matter? Why does it matter that they
Right.
have brown hair, you know? But, yeah, now I basically for the probably, like, the last decade, I've just refused to write any physical description whatsoever, and I'm like, a behavior thing or, like, yeah, some kinda little idiosyncrasy about the way that they move or the way that they stand or what they're doing or in that moment that is one of my favorite things about film is when you have that, like, perfect character revealing moment in the first, in the first 10 minutes of a film where they do something or they say something or whatever, and you're like, "Ah, I know exactly who they are." Like, those are the moments that excite me. Like, that's what I get really stoked about when it comes to character of, like, you know oh god, I wish I had an example, but you know what I'm talking about when they do,
I
like,
do. I do, absolutely.
when they're like, bad example, but, like, if there's, like, 2 pens, then they're gonna walk by and they're gonna go, like,
Right. Well,
make
you
the parallel you know what
set
I
up the
mean? Like,
OCD, right, yeah.
or something like that, or like I said, that's not a good example, but, some little, like, character moment where you're like, "Oh my god, I know exactly who they are." Like, I don't need to know anything else about this person outside of this tiny
Right.
action.
Or, like, to
Those are,
take
like
that example, yeah,
yeah, those are the perfect moments for me. So,
yeah,
yeah, I
like,
always
to
try
take the
and ground it in action.
yeah, well, you take that example, like, someone running through the house, like, whether they're packing up or whatever, but they, like, run past their office and their desk is disorganized, and they literally, in the middle of this frenzy, stop and reorganize the whole thing, set it clean, and then, okay, back, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
something like that to take that's what I saw when you talked about the pen thing, like,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever the emergency is or whatever, like, they're
Yeah,
just sort of they
exactly.
stop and do it, and you're like, "Oh, I know who that is,"
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Oh, yeah, I always now I'm always like my character descriptions are always action based 100% of the
I
time.
like that. Yeah, I've really tried to do that too. Like, because it's like, what do you, like you said, like brown hair, like, okay,
That's not like
like,
I don't know a thing about this
it's not a
person.
novel. Like, yeah, exactly.
Like
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I
and
think
even in a
so there,
novel, like let me imagine them myself. Like don't tell me how
right.
they look. Like this is my
I
brain.
wrote,
This is my imagination.
absolutely. Yeah. So I've been working on this high concept action comedy. But I wrote this, I've been trying to take on, I don't know if you've ever do this, but I try to take on, like lately taking on, if I'm writing a character or writing a screen, like this is a movie. Which is literally the first draft is 216 pages long.
What?
Wrote way
Oh
too much.
my god.
I have the new pass
Dude, get
down
the
to
hatchet
100 and
out.
I do. I have the new pass down to 160. I'm gonna finish that today. And then I
My
gotta
god.
bring that down to like 110.
Jeez
But
Louise.
it's the first time I've never written that over that much
Yeah, yeah,
before,
yeah.
but I realized, like, 'cause I haven't written a new screenplay. I've been working on novels for 2 years. I haven't written a new screenplay in 2 years, and so it was
Oh,
this, like, "What am I doing?" And then
okay. So
so
you're
I'm
novel
finding the
mode. I get it, I
dialogue
get it.
exactly, yeah. But I
Your
wrote this
descriptions are like a whole page.
uh-huh, yeah.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Or, like, the
How do
dialogue
you
is
even
way
get
too
up to that
much.
many pages, dude? How do you not run
I
out of shit to say?
I well, I'm realizing I had the characters babble like they be like a little way too much, like the
Yeah,
dialogue
yeah, yeah.
I I I gave them the whole thing instead of, coming in at the last possible and leaving at the
Yeah,
earliest possible, Which, but I finally started to found the groove again, which is great. But
that's
I
good.
had this character description and I love it. It's one of my favorite I've written so far, but it's basically like, so the concept is essentially like dads with dad bods who love playing Call of Duty have to pull off a real heist and think that they're badass at it.
Oh my god,
Like,
that's so funny.
so like, but like, there's a whole other thing there, but that's basically like the in a nutshell. But I wrote like, it's basically Jason Momoa with a dad bod is how I'm picturing. So I'm writing the characters for the actors, not like that I'm going to go get those people, but like I have that in mind when I'm doing it. That was my question. Like, I don't know if you ever do that where you have a particular actor in mind if
I
you're
don't
writing
often
sort
do
of like
that, but I
no,
see I
it's a
can
new
definitely see
thing.
why that
It's
would be
been
helpful.
interesting for me. It's been
Yeah,
interesting for me. A friend of mine recommended like you may not ever get them. You're probably never going to get them, but at least think of that person and it changed. It's actually changed
hmm.
sort of the way I approach dialogue and
I
the
just
way
think
that I
about Love
actually
Is Blind
approach.
characters, you know? And I'm like, which
There
Love
you
Is Blind
go.
character is this?
I love it. Absolutely. But I wrote this thing. It said, adult Cliff 45, um, dad bought an HD, but only 720, 4K left him a while ago. Like, and I was like, okay, I love that. Like, I was gonna cut it. I was like, okay, I actually love that. I don't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
where I
yeah.
was when I did that, but that was,
That's the thing, if you're
yeah,
writing comedy, man, you gotta crack jokes in the descriptions and the action lines, you
yeah.
know? That's where you gotta, like, slide the humor in as well.
Well, it's my
I mean,
first
it should
take
be
at
funny to
comedy,
read,
so
right? Like, if I'm
yeah,
sitting there reading the
absolutely,
screenplay, I should be laughing.
yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
interesting because it's my first crack at comedy,
Yeah.
so
Ooh.
we'll see how. Well,
Okay.
I wrote
Once
I
it gets
wrote
to
it.
under 110 pages, you can send it to me and I'll read it.
Okay, I would love that. If you don't, yeah, I would seriously love an honest take. Like, no, this doesn't work, or okay, there's something here because I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would appreciate that absolutely. Okay, so lightning round. All right,
Okay.
so
I'm ready.
just yeah, it's like 10 questions or whatever. But so what's something that's defined success for you that no longer does?
Awards, I suppose.
Okay,
Yeah,
all
because
right,
I think that they're just, like, pretend and they just give them to their friends.
fair, fair.
So it's, like, doesn't
Okay,
actually mean anything.
what? Oh, fair. What do you fear losing more? Time, relevance, or meaning, and why?
God, time, 100%. Because I have children now, and I'm like, there's just not enough of it. I just wanna live forever and have my babies with me for every moment of eternity.
Okay, I
That's, like,
love that.
related to my personal life. Uh,
Gotcha.
yeah. Still
Okay.
time, though, because I need more time every week, like, I don't have enough time in the week.
Right, enough time in the day
Just
even.
I
Yeah.
just don't. Oh
Is there a, book or a screenwriter that changed how you think about writing?
my god, Charlie Kaufman, 100%. Like,
Girl.
cannot express and I mean, yeah, yeah, Charlie Kaufman, 100%, like, no question. Being John Malkovich, Eternal Sunshine is still one of my favorite movies. He's just, like, the most bonkers it
Off the
he
wall.
for me, Charlie Kaufman showed me that you can be totally fucking bonkers and still be commercially successful,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know?
Yeah, I do. Adaptation as well. Oh, just
Yeah,
so
fantastic.
I try to watch that movie once a year.
Yeah,
Nick Cage is so good in that.
yeah.
And the Robert McKee stuff in that movie is the
My
best.
god, yes. Oh my god.
It's absolutely, but Brian Cox is so perfect as in that in that role. Um, okay, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice about your journey, what would it be?
It's gonna take you way longer than you thought, but it's gonna be worth it, so just keep going.
I like that. All right. Top 5 favorite film.
Okay, Eternal Sunshine is definitely up there. Some Like It Hot, probably my favorite film of all time. Um, The Princess Bride.
Yep. Mhm.
It's hard to talk
Yeah.
about that this week.
Yes, it
Yes,
is. Yes,
100%
it
The
is.
Princess Bride. Um, oh god, there's so many. Like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, like the claymation one from the like
Okay.
60s.
So, like, classic you're going old school classic.
Yeah,
Okay.
and probably, oh god, this is so hard. There's only one left. Probably The Nightmare Before Christmas. Also, like
Oh,
if we're going claymation, then we should go all the way.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
oh
Yeah.
god, but I didn't say any horror movies. Uh, oh, okay. That's my like very not accurate list. Not even
Okay,
close to
fair.
accurate,
Alright.
but yeah.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Oh god. Oh man, this is hard. Probably the one that I'm writing.
Aha.
Is that a
Absolutely. Yes, it is.
okay.
Absolutely, that's an
The one
answer.
that I'm
Yes,
writing right now called
I
Contractions,
love it.
being shot
Okay.
January 2026, out
Yes.
sometime in 2026.
Perfect. Well, that's we're getting there. Absolutely. Awesome.
Okay.
Um, and then what's a story, film, or book that you secretly love that might surprise people?
I don't think anyone would be surprised because they don't really know me.
Okay,
They'd be like,
fair.
"That's not a surprise. There's everything is a
Right,
surprise.
like, I
I
don't
don't
know
know
who she
anything
is.
about
Right,
you."
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Probably, I
Or
mean,
that might surprise your friends. There you go.
uh, hmm, hmm. This one's tough. I get, I mean, Love Is Blind. Is that okay to say?
I mean,
My
yeah,
dirty little
absolutely.
secret.
The
Um,
dirty little secret.
yeah, I do enjoy like popular music to my own demise, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything really like surprising. I'm pretty much like an open book about literally everything. I never shut the fuck up. Is basically what I'm trying to say. So
Oh,
nobody
I
would be
got you there.
surprised. No one who
I
knows
know.
me would be surprised by anything because they like,
Okay.
you told us like 9 times.
I do that. My wife looks at me, she goes, "You've already told me this." I'm
Yeah, I
like,
get that
"No,
a
I
lot.
didn't." I was
I'm
like, "No,
like,
I
I
didn't." She goes,
know, but I
"Yeah, like
wanted to tell
6
it a different
times." Yeah, I
way.
know. Yeah,
I needed
exactly.
to tell it in a different way.
I'm trying a new hook here. Let me try
Yeah,
this out.
yeah.
So what's one hill you'll die on about pop culture or storytelling, and unpopular opinions are welcome?
God, I don't want to get myself in trouble. Um, these are hard. This is a tough lightning round. This is like a thing. This is like a put your thinking cap on lightning round. God, I don't want to get in trouble. Um, I would say
Okay.
like don't notes are good, but like
Okay.
you are the expert in your own story, so like don't take every single thing you get, every note you get as at face value is what I think. And there
I
is
think that
such a thing as like getting too many notes from too many
yeah,
sources. And
I agree.
just trust your gut in the end. That
Yeah.
wasn't
Okay.
really controversial in any way, but
No, but I agree with it. Like,
yeah,
I think it's good for anyone who may listen to this who wants to get into screenwriting or is new to it. It's a huge I mean, I think that's
yeah.
important. I used to
Like,
try
if
to
you're
take
starting to
every
feel
single
like your
note
head is
ever.
spinning, that's too many notes.
Yeah. Or like you literally change everything and then there's nothing left.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's like, "Wait, what did I do?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
if the story starts feeling like it's not your story anymore, is the point when you be like, rein it in, be like, "No, I gotta
absolutely.
make this my
Yeah.
own again."
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so what's next for you?
Ooh. Well, Contractions, my found footage horror movie that I am writing right now, that we're gonna shoot next month, and it's very exciting. Yeah, and then, you know, I'm I mean, literally immediately after this, I have to continue working on the script for that. And I write for Animal Logic, which is a YouTube show, which I have to finish another script for before the holidays. And then I'm like trying to get into the verticals. I'm opening a whole can of worms with this right now, but trying to
Okay.
get into the verticals. I think that verticals are they're certainly like the future of storytelling. I don't think they're the only future of storytelling, but they are a future of storytelling. Getting into the vertical space is exciting to me because it's like the most overblown, overwrought, emotional kinds of stories that you could ever imagine. Like I find that exciting and interesting to write something that hyperbolic. So that's kind of why, from a story perspective, why I'm excited about it. So yeah, I'm trying to like pitch around
And
and get into
and
that.
so for anyone who's not familiar with what they are,
Yes.
what are verticals?
Verticals are sometimes called micro dramas. They're like app-based feature-length films that have been split into like 1 to 2 minute episodes. And at the end of every
Wow.
episode, there's a little hook, and they're monetized in a completely different way. So you need to download the apps. There's a couple that are like the biggest ones are like Drama Box, Real Shorts. So you watch the first like you get like the first 10 episodes for free, and then they hook you, and then you have to pay for the rest. So it's a totally different, like completely different like pay structure and model. On average, people are spending more on verticals every month than they would probably on like a streaming service or on, renting
Jeez.
movies or
Okay.
whatever. So there's a huge market. It's like a $7 billion market already. Verticals have been a thing in Asia for like a decade at this point. They're only just now in the last maybe like 18 months have started like becoming a thing in the English speaking market. So yeah, um, gonna see if I can. 2026 is the year I get into writing verticals and see where that takes me, and see like I just want to tell stories. I don't really care where or how, as long
Okay.
as they give me as long as they give me the right and a little pile of money to do it. I'm not gonna do it for free anymore. Beyond
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
there needs to be a
I
small
feel
bag
that.
of money associated with it.
Yeah. A small bag. It's just a small bag.
It has to have a dollar sign
Bag,
on
big
it.
bag. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
has to have
Right.
like a Ute string around the top.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Timothy Oliphant has to ride in on a horse and drop it.
Exactly,
Drop it on the table.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Oh, that's fantastic. Awesome. Well, that's all I have.
Yay. Well, that
So
was that
I
was
appreciate you taking time
of course, that was really fun,
to.
and I'm glad that we just got to know each other too, because
I know. Me
because I feel
too.
like we've been doing, like I said at the beginning, like we're doing very parallel things on Substack, and it's cool
Mhm.
to connect. And I love your daily notes. I'm like every day I'm like, damn it, I should do something like that. Like, God, he's so smart and funny. And and then
Well, thank you.
there
I
you go.
appreciate that.
The
I
they're
appreciate that.
the like looking at other people being like, "Oh, they're doing all the things."
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like I think your Substack is really awesome, and it's been really cool just to hang out and talk and get to know each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I thank you. I appreciate that. You can
And
see me
there's also
struggle
a
taking a
future
compliment,
in which we exchange scripts at some point and give each other
Yes, I
notes.
would very much like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
100%.
very much be open to that. Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's
Awesome,
let's
Lauren.
do
Well, I
it.
appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, thank you so much
Yeah.
for inviting me on your amazing
Yeah.
show.
If you want to learn more about writing TV movies and hear more from Lauren, please be sure to check out her Substack, Cut to Writing a Movie. The link is in the description. This conversation resonated with you. Be sure to subscribe to What's Your Why anywhere you can get your podcast. Share it with another writer who needs to hear this. And I appreciate you joining me this week. And remember, what broke you made you beautiful. Your story matters because you matter. I'm Jay Pemberth. Thanks for listening.